Talking now with Ferris State head coach Jeff Pierce. And Coach, your team coming off a big win on the road against Tiffin last week. You turn your attention now to Lake Erie, coming to Top Tiger Field for the first time.
Yeah, it's going to be a challenge for us. You know, Lake Erie is a good football team, and they've struggled a little bit at the beginning of the year. But when you go down and look at exactly where they're coming from, that's a program that started about 4 or 5 years ago, and the group of guys that are seniors right now were there at the beginning of that football program. And when you look at their personnel, the majority of their players are seniors in their program, and they've been playing real tough football. Last week they took Hillsdale right down to the wire and gave them a real competitive game of football. So we know that we got our hands full, and it's about us preparing over the course of the week to continue to make the strides that we need to make, to improve as a football team, and it's been good to see that progress.
Last year you went to Lake Erie and played them for the first time. They've got a good quarterback coming back in Sean Bedovelski. What else do you know about Lake Erie coming into the matchup?
Well, Lake Erie's a wide open offense. I mean, they spread the field and they do a lot of things, have a lot of different threats out there and really move it around, and it'll be a matter of getting good pressure on their quarterback and not allowing him to, set in and do his thing. And when it comes down to their defense, when I look at all of those guys are back, that they're just not all, but about 90% of their players are back from last year. And they were a good, solid football team last year. So, we know we got our hands full, but it's about us. It's about us, making the strides during the season to get better each week. Last week was a good challenge. Went into a situation where that Tiffin had been struggling, and to make sure that we played a very high level of football is critical each week. And we did that. We started off kind of on a wrong start the very first series and gave them a couple opportunities, but after that it was full throttle and played a lot of our younger players. And our guys have to maintain that killer instinct. They have to maintain that competitive edge. And as we go, and now we got our hands full again this week, and we have to keep climbing.
Last week you had over 450 yards, or right at 450 yards of total offense. Your defense forced a couple turnovers. Talk about the play you're getting on both sides of the football.
Well, last week was a good indicator on what we're capable of doing, I think. And we are a little bit banged up right now, so we do have some people that are out, and we had some young people that were playing early in the ball game, to fill in some of those spots. But it's a matter of being sound in all three phases of the game. And our defense played well at the beginning of the game. We had a couple of miscues and gave up a couple big plays and gave them an opportunity to get some things going. But after that, they shut them down, pretty well. And I think that's what we're capable of doing. Our offense, was clicking, and it's fun to watch those young men performing what we're doing right now. They're just so much better this year than we were a year ago, as we were trying to go through that learning curve and mature some of these guys, and now you see them making the football plays. And then the third part of it is the special teams, and I think our special teams has taken a nice stride forward. We changed our emphasis to that. We're challenging our players a little bit more, got a few different people in different spots and things like that. But that was big for us to block a punt and score a touchdown, and then block another punt and do some things in the other phases of the game to play that full 60 minutes of football that you need to be successful in this conference.
Saturday night against Lake Erie, a lot of activities going on with the world record attempt for flying disc toss. You're welcoming back former player and Clarence Coleman as part of the Hall of Fame game. Talk about those activities and how they play into the ball game.
Well, it's great to have that excitement around your football game. Bottom line is our job is to win a football game, and it makes it easier when you have a bigger crowd, and kind of gets it a little bit easier to get that energy level up to where it has to be, because it has to be high. If you come into a ball game flat, anything can happen, and that's not a good thing. It's nice to see, with the different promotions, and John Coles is doing a nice job, different activities going on, around the game. Having Clarence back, for the Hall of Fame, have an opportunity to spend some time with him on Friday night and watch what he did. He was second in the history of college football in receiving here back in the earlier years, and I got a chance to watch him play through his freshman all the way through his senior year and things like that. And the other thing is, we're kicking off, the Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and it's kind of interesting because when you do look around, just about everybody's lives have been touched in one way or another. with breast cancer or cancer, and it's kind of our way to kind of help kick things off and get it going. So some of these activities and fundraisers can happen to try to raise money to help fight that battle.
Coach, thanks, and should be a fun night, and best of luck against Lake Erie.
Thank you.
This has been Ferris State Football on the Bulldog Sports Network.